Hi, hello, coming back to the accounts class. Uh, Before that, let me revise the previous class, what we have done. I hope you have understood, gone through the video and understood certain concepts, accounting concepts. I'll just have a quick recall of the previous concepts. We have done business entity concept, money measurement concept, going concern concept, dual aspect concept, accounting period and cost concept. These are the concepts that we have discussed in the previous class. Now in this class there are some more concepts, principles and concepts that we are going to discuss today. Okay, so add on to the previous concept, the next concept will be the revenue recognition concept. A revenue recognition concept. So in a business, we always estimate certain expenses and certain incomes. We will generally estimate in every business. Or this today the sales can be increased, or this number, this money of like 10,000 worth of sales can happen. Today, seeing the fluctuations in the transactions, we may decide, oh, next week we may not have much sales in our business. Certain estimations will be going on in every business, is it right? So, based on this, we can also take the revenue recognition concept always says that you should not record all the transaction based on the estimation. Every transaction cannot be estimated and directly we cannot write it in the books of accounts. Suppose for a small example, now you have in a grocery store. A person comes to you and he will place a order. He will give a list of 10 to 15 items he is going to purchase. But he says that he will place the order, but he is not ready to purchase those goods immediately. He will say, please keep it ready. I will come tomorrow and I am going to pay you and take it, these items. But here, when some person is coming to you for your grocery store, he is placing order for 10 to 15 items, for 10 to 15 goods. So he is not purchasing immediately. He is saying he will take the delivery tomorrow and he will be paying tomorrow itself. So until that transaction happens, that means until you sell the goods to him, you deliver the goods to him, or he pay you some amount, we cannot consider that transaction is generated the revenue for you. What do you mean by revenue? You remember, revenue is nothing but the income. Revenue is nothing but the income. So unless you earn certain income or revenue, you cannot record those transactions as if you have already earned. Are you able to understand? We cannot record any transaction of revenue transaction, that is before earning certain income. You cannot record that transaction that you are going to earn. We don't know, we may earn, we may not earn. So until that we have to wait. So as I given the example, suppose as a person has come and placed you the order. Today he has come and placed the order that tomorrow he will buy. He will buy all those goods whichever the order he has placed. But there is no guarantee or no proof that he is going to come tomorrow and he is going to purchase. It's just a word of mouth that he told and he went. So this type of transaction we cannot estimate that person will come tomorrow and we may sell these goods around the worth of 2000 rupees and immediately today itself you cannot record the transaction that you have earned 2000 rupees. Unless the transactions take place and you get certain revenue or proof, then only you can record that particular transaction. So in the same example, if the person comes to your grocery store and he is placing the order for 10 to 20 items and he is giving certain amount as advance. Suppose he is paying certain amount as an advance, the total bill comes up to 2000, estimated up to 2000. Okay, so in advance he is paying 500 rupees for the shopkeeper. So this transaction have a proof that he has made certain advance. So tomorrow obviously it can be the goods can be sold and he will pay the remaining amount and we will be delivering the goods. There is some proof that the transactions will be taking place. In that situation you can take down the transaction that he has paid 500 rupees and the remaining will be paid in the next. That once it is paid, then you can record that transaction too. So, if you have any certain proof like any contract or any advance paid, certain things that which says you the revenue will be earned in the upcoming days, so you can record such transactions. So with the transaction, unless you earn the revenue, you cannot estimate the revenue will be earned in the future. In these many days I will be earning. Before earning itself, you cannot record those transactions in the books of accounts. So this revenue recognition transaction, until you realize the revenue, until you get the revenue, you cannot record those transactions before earning the revenue, as you are earned already. Don't show that. Okay, you should not show those transactions. Are you able to understand? Before selling the goods, today I am not able to, I have just now opened the shop. Now I have to see how many, what are the goods will be sold, what is the estimated, all this. So I cannot, today itself I cannot, there is a, so we have sold goods worth rupees 2000, I cannot record in the books. Until the 2000 worth of goods is sold, I cannot record before itself. Is it right? Before the transaction takes place, we cannot record those transactions in the books of accounts. That is what revenue recognition concept says. Okay. Next, coming to the matching concept. What is this matching concept? In accounts, always we talk about incomes and expense. I told you in the last class when I was teaching the basic terminologies. What is revenue and what is expenses? Revenues are also recurring in nature. It is in the form of incomes that you receive every frequent periodically. You will be receiving certain sum of revenue, that is incomes. What is expenses? Even expenses are very regular expenses that will be keep happening regularly, periodically, where the benefit of that expenses will limited to number of months, or 1 month it can be, 2 months it can be. The span of benefit will be very less. So when you spend, some expenses is happening, obviously there should be, the output should be the benefit. Whatever the expense is happening in the business, for what we are spending that money, there should be some benefit out of that expenses. Is it a benefit in the form incomes? There should be the expenses, whatever it is happening in the business, it has to generate certain income or revenue. So in matching concept, always we say that revenue should be equal to expenses. Revenue should be equal to expenses. Since whatever the expenses we are doing as spending in the business, to run the business, to do all the activities in the business, the benefit as we are receiving as incomes, it should be equal. Sometimes it can be more, it can be less also. Is it right? So some expenses, sometimes the expenses can be more and revenue will be less. Generated revenue can be less. And sometimes your expenditure is less, the expenses are less, but your revenue levels are more. That shows the progress of your business. So at least the main thing is, even if it is not increase or decrease, it should be equal. It should match the revenue, what you are earning, it should match your expenses that is happening in your business. At least equivalently to the expenses, you should earn some income. If you are not earning and you are still doing the expenses, the revenue will be decreasing, then it leads to loss. Whatever the expenses you are doing, you have to increase your revenue, or at least you should maintain the same level of revenue you should generate. If not, it may lead to loss and you may not be able to earn the profits. Okay. So matching concept always talk about the revenues and the expenses should equally match. It should match. So whatever the money we are spending on expenses, whatever the requirement we are making the expenses, we have to get equivalent benefits in the form of incomes to the business. If not, it may lead to loss. Next, coming to fully disclosure concept. So fully disclosure concept says that, so what is the nature of your business? What is the main objective of your business? All those information related to your business should be disclosed. It should be shown in books of accounts. And what type of business you are doing, the transaction which is related to those type of business only you should be recorded. Suppose you are running a supermarket where the daily grocery things, everything you are selling. Meanwhile, you also added some electronic goods also you are selling. But you didn't say give this information anywhere in the accounts that you have mentioned that you are selling some electronic items. That is not. Whatever the full information belongs to the organization or the business, you have to record it in the books. It has to be disclosed in such a way so it can be, you have to show the electronic goods as well as the grocery goods, whatever the goods you are selling or rendering the services, both it has to be shown. So whatever the information related to the business, the nature of the business, it has to be recorded and it has to be disclosed for all the users, that is internal users or external users of the accounting information. Next comes the consistency concept. So consistency concept says that when you are maintaining the record books or the accounting records, you have to follow certain policies or methods or systems when we record the accounting procedures. So whenever we are taking one particular method, we have to follow the same methods or policies throughout the year or continuously for many years. We have to go with the same method. The consistency, you have to maintain stable methods regularly. You cannot keep changing. One year you will be using one method, the other year you may use some other method. For example, you can take one more, like you have different methods in maintaining the accounts that you will be learning in further chapters. When you take one method, the same method has to be used for throughout the year, and the next year also you have to take the same method. So whatever the recording transaction or maintaining the accounts, whichever the methods or policies that you are using, it has to be stable. You cannot keep changing the policies and methods. So same methods or the policies should be used throughout so that you can make get the proper information when you have the comparison. When you do the comparison from one year to other year, all your financial statement, you will get a clear picture of the business, how it is the financial position or the status. So if you keep changing the methods of accounting every year, you may not see the stability of the business. Proper information will not be reached to the people who are using the accounting information. So always we have to stick on to one particular method and follow the same method for maintaining the accounting records. Next comes conservatism concept. So conservatism concept says that there is an assumption here. So it is similar to the revenue recognition. As I told you in revenue recognition, unless you transaction recognize certain revenue, certain income is generated, then we can consider that revenue and we can record the transaction. In the same way, here conservatism concept says that when you are estimating, we will do so many estimations. We can see the performance of the business. We can estimate, oh, the sales in upcoming another 2-3 months, the sales can increase. So you are estimating the sales can increase and you will earn more profit. Your estimation is that, but you cannot directly record in the book saying your estimated profit is so, and this year you are going to have drastic changes in earning the profits. Is it right? So for example, you can take at present itself, before getting this corona or the lockdown, what happens? The business economic was going on in a smooth way. When this lockdown came, is implemented, all the business, whatever the sales, whatever the business is, everything is dropped down. Their estimation before the lockdown, before the corona attacks India, the estimation was different. They may be thinking the business is going very well and they will be earning more profits, there will be more sales of their products and goods. So they are estimating more profits will be earned in this year. But when the lockdown is implemented in India, what happened? All the sales, all the business, everything is fallen down. The market values also come down. Is it right? So suppose they have estimated in January this year, they are going to earn like 10,000 around 10,000 lakhs they are going to earn the profit. But after this lockdown, they are undergoing a lot of losses. Is it right? So we cannot estimate so much, and we cannot based on the estimation we cannot record the transactions, or we cannot say that this year we are going to earn this much of profit, or we may incur loss. We cannot keep saying, now after this lockdown, obviously in lockdown, most of the companies or the business are undergoing under the losses. Most of the business is going under the loss. But now slowly everything is getting into the normal life. So what happens, it may take another 4 to 5 months. Later slowly we can see certain development in every business. So we cannot say that, oh, because of this lockdown my business is completely lost, so I am going to shut down my business, or totally lost. We cannot say. We have to wait and see for the next step how the business is going to improve, and we also should take certain measures how to develop our business. So based on the development also we cannot say that I am going to achieve profits after 6 months. We don't know what will be happening the next. So based on the assumptions, based on the estimated profits and estimated loss, we cannot record the transactions. Too much of estimation is also not good while recording the transaction. Unless you earn the profit, we cannot record. Unless you undergo the losses, you cannot say and record that there is a loss in your business. Is it right? So we have to estimate for some extent, but not completely depend on the estimated profits or estimated loss. And based on that, if we are recording that we will be getting more profits, or we will be undergoing more losses in the future days, it may affect the users who are giving information, the users who are using your accounting information. It may also affect your business, which shows in other way, which may not be related to your business. So changes will keep happening. So that is the main reason we have to wait unless we get the profits. That proof we should have, we have earned profits. Then we can show that we have earned this much of profits. If we have undergoing loss, until we face the loss, we cannot show it on the books. We have to maintain, and once we have seriously under the loss, obviously we have to show in the books. We have to record and show that we are undergoing certain losses. Okay, that is the concept of conservatism. And next comes to the materialistic concept. So in every business, some or the other materials will be used. For simple thing, if you take the example of the college, in college the minimum material the basic material we need a board, desk, benches, chalk, duster, and tables, chairs. These are the basic materials which we needed, and we have the proof for that. We should show, and these benches, table, chairs and everything we cannot keep somewhere, and we cannot say this is a school, this is a college. Without all this we cannot say. So whatever the materials which is required for your business, it has to be in your business place only, which has to be used regularly. That also should be shown in every business. Suppose if you are using a college van, college bus for the college purpose, obviously the college bus should be there in the premises of the college. It will represent this particular material is used for the college, and whatever the expenses related to that, or whatever the income is generated out of that college bus, should also be recorded in the books of the college, accounting books. Is it right? In the same way, in every business there will be some or the other materials which is required. Even if you don't have any trucks or vehicles that you are using for the business purpose, that is also should be there in the place, in the business place. You can take a simple example. Every business needs stationery, papers, pencils, erasers, scales. All these are the common stationeries that you need. So every business needs that. So there is a stationery expenses, and that stationery will be used in the office. Is it right? In every business, in office purpose, they will use the stationeries. Is it right? So that has to be shown in the office, as well as it will be recorded in the books of accounts that they are spending this much of money on that particular material, and also if they are getting any revenue out of that material, that also should be recorded in the accounting books. That is what material concept. Next comes at the last, objectivity concept. Objectivity concept is nothing but whatever transactions takes place in the business, we should have a documentary proof, documentary evidence that this particular transaction has taken up. Why do you need this documentary proof? See, as I told you, every year we are going to have an auditing. We are going to find the financial statements will be prepared to know the profits and losses and how the business is running. All the financial status can be seen when you prepare the financial statement. Every year at the end of the year, the auditor will be coming and he will check all the transactions happened in the throughout the year, one financial, whatever the transaction happened, it will be recorded. And when he is cross-checking the records, obviously he will be asking this particular transaction, where is the bill? Where are the certain documents which is related to this particular transaction? So we have to present the proof. The proof in the form of vouchers. Do you remember what is vouchers? Receipts, payment bills, any online payments, what are the payments you are making, what are the receipts, invoice, bills, receipts, cash memos, all these proof, the bills we take it as vouchers, and these are the evidence or the proof that for undertaking the transactions, isn't it? So when you simple things, when you buy in a shop also, we will take a bill as a proof. So if something goes wrong with that product, immediately the next day we can go to the shop, show the bill, this is what I have purchased yesterday, this is a damaged product, please can you exchange or can you replace it or can you repay me the amount, refund the amount. We can ask, we can have the rights to claim when we have the proof. Without proof, we cannot claim. Is it right? So, plenty of transactions will be taken in the business. Every day they will have plenty of transactions. And they have to maintain this proof and evidence. Whatever the bills, vouchers, invoices, receipts, all these things they have to maintain at the end of the year when auditing is done to know the financial status of the business. This is very important to have the bills with them. So that shows that they are doing the business is legally. It proves that when you don't have proper documentations with you, they may think that some illegal activities are going. How do you earn this particular amount? How you got this much of profits? Where is the proof? Where are the other documents related to this? All this will come to at the end of the year. Every business, they have to do the financial statement and show what is their profits and losses. Based on the profits, they should also pay the taxes to the government. So all this can be done only after auditing. So for purpose of auditing, we need to have the documentary evidence, that is the bills, that is known as the objectivity concept. So all these are the basic concepts that you are going to follow in this chapter, and these concepts you will be following throughout your commerce journey. All the concepts whatever we have studied in the last previous chapter, the basic terminologies and these concepts, each and every concept we will be applying here and there in accounting procedures or when we are recording the transaction in the books. Okay, so all this we are going to use it throughout your commerce journey. Throughout your commerce journey, in the sense, even if you finish second PUC after going to the degree, no way you are going to learn about this concept, but it is directly implemented in when you are solving the problem. Okay, so please concentrate on these concepts and try to understand. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment box, and you can also raise your questions. Whatever the questions you have, you can ask me there itself. I will be clearing your doubts. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.